Leftover scams, interest rate jacking up without telling you about it, broken parts, high pressure sales, all things that you just shouldn't have to deal with, having to go back and forth and being lied to over and over until you finally catch the lies. People tricking you, whether you're buying a motorcycle or a new car. There are so many scams to look out for, and I want you to be aware. My 85-year-old grandfather ran game on him for days. Luckily, he's all there, caught every little scam that was trying to pull over on him. Today's video, I'm gonna explain what happened to him and what you should look out for. My name is Craig from Flying Wheels. You should all know this guy, Papa Al. Let's get going. Look at this guy coming in, 85 years old, still riding a hog. Nice scoot. Imagine trying to scam anybody, number one, but an old person, an 85-year-old man that's trying to give you your business and you're trying to run scam after scam after scam just to try to take advantage of him. This is my grandfather, you all know, Papa Al. Pop, what is this thing right here? By the way, congratulations.
Thank you. This is a 2025, they call it a Road Glide 3, the middle of the trikes.
RG3? Road Glide 3. Look at how sharp this, I love that you got it all blacked out. But there's a story behind this bike. Now, you've been riding for 50 years, 50 plus years, Sturgis every single year. You, what they call an iron tail?
Iron butt.
Iron butt, what's an iron butt?
1,000 miles in 24 hours.
1,000 miles in 24 hours, over and over and over. He's ridden out to Sturgis, out to California, as he calls it, Arizona, all over. Friends with different groups. You made friends from all over the country over the years. Now, at 85 years old, you want to keep the wind in your hair. By the way, which is where I get my wonderful locks. Still a full head of hair at 85. So your Road King was set up like a lazy boy. That bike was comfortable. You could ride it literally 1,000 miles comfortably with no back pain, right? You set it up for yourself. Why did you get this then?
A little uncomfortable holding the Road King up if there was sand or gravel. It got heavy.
Now, we all knew this was coming one day. I'm happy to see that you're still on wheels and not just retired. Now, what happened though, he's been a loyal hog member, right?
Yeah.
Harley owner for literally generations. Since I could remember, as soon as I could sit on the back of a bike, I was on the back of your Harley in parades, and I went to South Dakota at 13 years old with you, and then a few more times, and my son Logan went out when he was 6 months old with you. Riding for my whole life. Loyal Harley, never went Indian, never went anything else. Goes and gets himself an RG3, one of the best bikes, most expensive bikes on the road, and Harley just tried to hammer him over and over and over. Instead of saying, thanks for your loyalty, thanks for your business, let me take care of you on this one, they tried to crush him over and over and over. Now I'm gonna put this in perspective. I love that I am a Delta Platinum Elite Diamond member, whatever. Every time I go fly Delta, they say thank you. They give me like the best service. They upgrade me in my seat. I love it. I'm so proud of my Delta loyalty membership or whatever, because they take care of me. I feel appreciated. You're a loyal Harley member, yeah. Harley owner, and it kind of went opposite with this bike purchase. Now, I've been talking a lot already. Do you mind walking me through, I don't want to say the name. I'm not going to shout out specifically the name of the company, the dealership that did this, but I want people to be aware of what happens, because it's not just you. This is the game they run on everybody. So you walk into the dealership, you know you want an RG3 or what?
Well, I wasn't sure. I walked in, it was a Friday afternoon, and I talked to a salesman and told him I was interested in the RG3, and first thing he did, he pulled out a 2024 leftover and said, here's the helmet, the keys, drive it around the lot. If you want to take it out on the road, take it out. He says, try it, get used to it. Well, I just drove it around their parking lot. They do have a very large parking lot.
You said a leftover 2024. So did they tell you it was a leftover 2024?
No, they did not. They just said there was two or three of them lined up. Looked identical, but they were leftover 2024s.
Okay, the reason I want to pause you right there is to explain to some of you the difference between a leftover and a new bike. A leftover is a new bike, but it's a year old. It's something they couldn't sell for a year. So if you come out to Harley or to Honda or to Toyota or Ford or Chevy or whoever, and you look at two identical trucks, a 2024 and a 2025, why would you buy a 2024 for the same price as a 2025? As soon as you leave, that truck, bike, isn't new anymore. Whether it's a 24 or a 25, it's not new anymore. Now, if you buy a 24 leftover new and you leave with it, it's a used bike now and it's a year old. Almost 2 years, because the 26s are coming out. So you're looking at a potentially almost 2-year-old bike for the same price as a 2025. You should expect to get a significant discount on a bike they haven't been able to sell in a year. They should be motivated to sell those, give you an incentive to purchase the leftover over the current year model. Okay? Yeah. If you go look at something, that should be the incentive to help sell you. Here's a leftover 2024. It's identical to the 2025, but the 24 is less money because we want to move it, or you can have a 25. It's your choice, right? That should be how it is.
That's the normal automobile way, yeah.
But they didn't even tell you that. They gave you the bike, they gave you the helmet and said, go ride it.
Yeah.
Okay, you went in and said you want a new bike.
I said I want a new RG3.
Yeah.
To me, meaning I wanted the 25, not a leftover. Well, then the price started, you know.
Yeah. How much was the bike? You don't know that, you just assume it's a 25. How much was it?
Assuming it was a 25, and the first price they come out with, $48,600.
$48,000 for a motorcycle, almost as much as a Corvette for a motorcycle. Holy moly. All right, so did you bite on it or what?
I told him I said, that's way out of line. I said, I see them advertised. MSR is somewhere around 36,000, 36,600. So, no, we can't sell it for that, they said.
MSRP, manufactured suggested retail price, is $36,000 on these bikes.
36,600.
36,600. And they're asking $12,000 over. $12,000 over market adjustment, which isn't a thing anymore. I'm telling you all, there's no market adjustment anymore. They're asking $12,000 over what Harley recommends they sell these bikes at. Now, market adjustment was a thing when everybody was buying. Nobody's buying anything anymore. And I get calls from the Harley dealer monthly saying, hey, we're running a special. Hey, we're running a promo. Hey, why don't you come in? We're running a sale, free hot dogs and hamburgers today. Come check it out. Just to show why there is no need for a market adjustment, there were leftovers. When there was so much demand they couldn't keep up with it, they overpriced everything. Now, there's no demand, so much so that they have bikes that aren't selling for over a year. And they're still telling you it's $12,000 over what Harley suggests.
Well, I don't know whether that had anything to do with, my age, or they thought they might be able to get away with it. Mm-hmm. I have no idea.
Does Harley throw like window stickers or price tags on their bikes like the car stores do?
No.
No, okay. So you just walk in and they throw a price out.
And
the price they give you might be completely different to the price they give me.
Yeah, got it on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
No more stickers on it.
So you say 36, they say 48. What happened?
Well, then they asked me, what do you want to pay? And I said 32. So the long story.
Under retail seems fair now. Things are negotiable again.
We can't do that. We're losing money. We went back and forth, and I think Friday they came down to 39,500. And I said, no, I'll take my wife out to lunch. I'll see you. And I left. Well, I went back 2 days later on a Sunday. I wanted a couple of extras, and I got prices through the parts department. And I said, all right, I'll give you the $36,000 you're looking for if you put these accessories on it. Passenger backrest, luggage rack, a rear bumper, a couple of things.
So this comes pre-mounted for backrests, new seat, all kinds of accessories, right?
Yeah. So I said, oh no, we can't do that. The hassle, back and forth. They finally come over at 35, and I was down to 33.5. And no, I said 34, and then now it's, a nickel and diamond. I ended up, I think it was 34.6. So we agreed.
So 34.6, so the back and the forth, you go talk to the manager, or the salesman talks to the manager, you go here, you leave, you come back. You finally come to an agreement on a 2025 that you love for 34.6, right? The bike looks great, it's brand new to you, all is good. You signed the paperwork, right? You fill
Well,
out all the paperwork?
I hadn't seen a 25 yet. And I didn't know.
Yep.
You know, I thought a couple I was looking at were 25s. So, you know, I didn't know which.
But nothing had come on conversation like this is a 24, this is a 25.
No,
Okay.
no, nothing.
Okay.
So when we finally agreed, it was a handshake.
Yeah.
And then the salesman says, oh, well, we're going to take you over here and introduce you to a young lady that sells the accessories, clothing. She's going to give me a T-shirt. And I talked to her, and she said, I can help you out with, you know, helmets, leather jackets, whatever. I said, oh, thank you very much. I'm all set, you know. Then I went, they took me over to the parts department. And that's when I looked and realized that the bike they were selling me was a 2024. So you don't know what it was, a bait and switch? What happened? So I took everything back to the salesman and I said, keep it, I'm done. See you later. What's the matter? I said, I thought, I'm under the impression I'm buying a brand new 2025 RG3. He says, yeah, it is. I said, no, it's a 24. No, that's a 25. So we went out and looked at the serial number. Lo and behold, it's a 24. Oh, he says, well, maybe it's the other one.
He's the guy that writes up the paperwork anyway, though, isn't he? Yeah, all right.
So we looked at another one, and that was a 2024. He said to me, well, I know this one over here is a 2025, but it had a lot of accessories on it. So I looked at it, and I said, all right, I'll take that one the way it is. Oh, no, we can't sell it to you. You'll have to take all the accessories on. So I started leaving, going out. I said, no, I'm done. I said, I'm going to the dealer. I got an appointment with. And another salesman, I don't know who, he was in the middle of the sales manager and the salesman I talked to. He come over and he says, Al, hang on a minute. He says, I just found one brand new, 6 miles on it, 2025, black on black. What you want? He says, it's out back, it's buried. He said, I gotta move 5 or 6 bikes. He says, give me 20 minutes. I'll move the bikes and I'll get it washed. And at first I said, no, I'm all set.
So just to be clear, car dealerships, motorcycle dealerships, their job is to not let you walk out that door.
Right.
Make that deal happen. There's a good chance you're not coming back. So figure out what it's going to take to get that deal done. That's why they have like 2 guys on you at once. If one guy can't handle it, the other guy, or then the girl comes out and then takes care of it to figure out what your needs are so you stay in that building until you sign the paperwork. So you come to an agreement on a 25.
Yeah.
Same price.
I waited, yep. I got this for
This bike right here.
this bike.
2025, you get exactly what you want for the price you originally negotiated on what you thought you were getting.
Yes.
So you got what you want for the price you wanted eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
Okay.
But it, you know, like the big argument.
Mm-hmm.
And
But there's more. So now it's time to buy the bike. What happens next?
Oh, now that you go to parts guy, service, and then they say, all right, now you have to go in the office with the financial guy. He's trying to upsell you warranties and, you know, we'll do free oil changes. We'll pick the bike up in the winter and store it. We do all this. And they add right into the monthly payments.
Yeah.
So you don't even feel it, supposedly.
Let me explain that now. The F&I office, the finance office, is the second room you go into after the salesman shows you the car or the bike. It's the same in any dealership. You come to the price, they go back and forth to the manager, you sit down at the desk. Now you talk about financing options. So we're talking about financing this bike now, your terms. But what makes it easier for the dealership is to roll everything into those terms. So if you bought this bike, say you spent $36 on it, after the fact, you're like, hey, why don't you go check out some accessories and clothing and helmets? You can buy it on your own. You're like, oh, that's $1,000, that's $2,000, that's $3,000 in accessories. I don't want that stuff anymore. Now it's on my credit card. I have to see that. To see that money. But if you get walked into, hey, what about a seat? Hey, what about some new grips? Hey, what about some new directionals? You need a helmet, you need some leathers, you want a new jacket and a shirt? We'll just roll it into the price of the bike. We'll finance it, you'll never see it. So now The $2,000-$3,000 in accessories that you just purchased, you financed at an interest rate now instead of owning those parts, but mentally you don't see it. It's your payment for 36 months or whatever. So if you spend another $3,000 in helmet, jacket, chaps, boots, seat rest, you're now financing accessories at an interest rate as well. So $1,000, you'll end up paying $1,200 or $1,300, $3,000, you'll end up spending $4,200 on accessories at the end of the term. So that's just another run that they want you to go buy those things so they can roll it into the finance. It's easy. It's easy for them. It's easy for you, and they make way more money that way. Okay, so you get to the finance office, you've turned down the warranty, you've turned down the wheel and tire package and all the other accessories for your bike. What happens when you go finance the bike?
Well, now they give you all this paperwork. There was 6 miles on the bike. You accepting it the way it is, and the last paper they give you is the finance. And I went through the Harley Davidson financial. And while he's filling the paper, he just slid it over. He said, "Here, sign this, the payment is X amount." I said, "All right." So I looked at it and I start reading. And I said, "No, forget it." I says, "You people are advertising 5.09%. Oh, no, we're not giving that." They were at almost 12%. It was 11.9.
So they're going to finance the bike and all the other accessories they wanted to sell you at 12%.
Just about, yeah. I said, no, forget it. So I told him, I said, "Yeah, I see ads for the 5.1, no, 5.09. He said, "No, Harley doesn't do that." I said, "Well, then it's false advertisement." I said, "You're telling me that everything I've seen is not." "Oh, well, that could be select bikes." Or he said, "That 5.09 is if in the last 6 months you took the Harley Davidson Motorcycle Safety Foundation course and passed." I said, "Oh," I said, "85 years old, I got to take a Motorcycle Safety Foundation course to get the 5%. "Oh, yeah," he said, "that's the only way it goes." No, forget it. So now we got to go through all this nonsense again.
So now I want to explain finance and interest rates. The bank will give you, let's say 800 credit score, never missed a payment on anything. Every bill is paid in advance, and he's never had any credit card balance because he pays off his credit card every month. There is literally nobody with better credit. Any bank would love to have him as a customer. So he goes in, he does the loan application to any dealership, including Harley, and the bank will look and say, "Yeah, he's financed a dozen bikes with us. He's a A+ customer with us. He deserves the best rate. We know he's never going to be delinquent. Give him the 5% or the 6%, whatever he qualifies for." The dealership can upsell interest rates. So they can sell it to you at 6%, 7%, 8%, 10%. They can sell it to you at 12%. Even though on the back end, the bank qualified you at 5%, the dealership can sell you any rate you want. I can do it here too. I don't, but I could do it here as well. I get a kickback to sell you a higher interest rate. Now, as a dealer, a salesman, that's their job, is to upsell everything, upcharge everything. That person doesn't care that you're going to pay an additional 6% for 36 months or 48 months. All they care about is, hey, they get a quick kickback, and then you're out the door and you're out of sight, out of mind. Meanwhile, you have to suffer that for 4 more years or 5 years or 6 years or 100 months, whatever it is. So did he give you the interest rate or no?
They brought it down, but he didn't bring it down to the 5%.
Okay, so now they didn't give you the 25. They didn't give you the interest rate. They gave you a $12,000 market adjustment, and they gave you a leftover without telling you it was a leftover. And they tried to upsell you on all the accessories, which is natural anyway. So you ended up getting the bike you wanted, a 2025. You got it at a fair interest rate, and you got it at a fair price. But you had to look out for yourself, and you had to work that deal hard. There's more, which I'm going to get into in a second. Now, this is why people hate dealers, especially new car dealers. Imagine if you walked into a dealership, pup, and you went in and you said, "Hey, I like this 2025, MSRP is 36.6, and you advertise 5%. I'll buy it today if you do that." And they say, "Yeah, okay, it's all advertised that way. Let's do it." Write up the paperwork. You'd be in an hour and a half on the bike you want as a very happy customer and just talk about them forever. "Oh, I got exactly what I wanted, the way I wanted. It was so simple, so easy." But it didn't go that way. You had to spend multiple visits, lied to on price, lied to on year, upsold on interest, all because maybe because you're 85, maybe they do it to everybody, who knows? But there's more to it than that. So now you buy the bike with the contingency that you want accessories. They tell you to come back, go ride the bike, come back, we'll put the accessories on. One of the accessories is the backrest, right?
Yeah.
So explain to me how it continued, because this should have been over by now.
I ordered a passenger backrest, which the piece fits right in here. It's a quick release for the backrest. And there's one there, one here. So,
One here as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got a week for the backrest to come in. It comes in, your grandmother and I go up, we pick it up, and I go home to put it in, and the screws will not fit in the hole.
So you didn't have to bring the bike up. You just drove up, picked up your backrest, came home. So the screws were the wrong size, or the bolts were the wrong size.
So on the directions, there's an 800 number you call if you're having a problem with the parts or accessories that are Harley Davidson. So I called them, and going through the options on the phone, when I finally got to accessories, they answered and said, everybody's in a meeting, call back next week.
No, all next week?
Yeah.
So it's not just the dealership, it's Harley now too.
So I called the dealer back, and the parts guy, he said, no. I said, I don't think I have the right kit. The bolts won't fit. I says, you gave me quarter 20 chrome bolts, and I said the only tap I can fit in there is a 6mm 0.8 pitch or 0.80 pitch. Oh, Harley don't use metric bolts.
Okay. Master Tech, automotive technology teacher for 50 plus years. He knows his stuff. He knows everything there is to know about everything. So it's not like you're just some customer that says, hey, I think I'm doing this wrong. You know how to install the seat and the bolts.
So talking to the parts guy, he says, why don't you bring the bike up and the backrest, and we'll take a look. I said, no problem. So matter of fact, your dad was down the house. So Dad took my Road King, and I took this, and we went up, and I went in the parts department, talked to the guy, and he says, oh, well, let me see. He's trying to screw it in. It won't fit. I said, please, don't force anything. It doesn't fit. So he called somebody from within the shop. The guy come out. He's trying to screw the bolt in a hole that it won't fit. And again, I said, please, don't force anything. It's a brand new bike. So they said, all right. So then the parts manager, or the parts guy, he says, I'm going to have the shop install that backrest for you. He said, we're not going to charge you. We'll just put it in. I said, no, thank you. I said, I just want to get the right hardware. So he said, no, we do them all day long. We won't have a problem. I looked at your father. He looked at me. He says, hey, go ahead. So they took the bike, and the last thing I said to the guy, I said, please, don't force anything. So we're waiting at the parts department. He comes out, and the guy that's gonna put the backrest on, he comes out and he's looking down at the floor. I said, that's no good. So he said, we got a problem.
You said or he did?
He did.
He did, okay.
He said, we got a problem. He said,
there's a reason you didn't take that cap off yet.
I broke a tap.
It's a brand new bike. They broke a tap, chipped your paint, and chipped it right here too. Wow.
So now I'm waiting for a brand new trunk area from Harley.
Yeah. Did he tell you this, or did you have to ask? How did it come out? So when he showed up with the bike with no seat, with no backrest, did he tell you this, or did you have to ask?
He didn't show up with the bike. He walked out, and your father and I were at the parts department, and he said, we got a problem. He said, I broke the tap.
Yeah.
So now I know that's one of the hardest things to get out.
Oh, yeah.
Is the tap. So then the service manager come over and says, oh, we're going to warranty it. We'll put you a new trunk. So now I'm waiting for a new trunk.
So they're going to give you a new trunk. Dad told me something a little different. He said that he was there with you, and they kind of brushed you off, and we're trying to send you on your way.
Yeah.
But the two of you kind of had to put up a stink to get them to warranty this part. Because again, now we're talking $36,000 brand new bike, exactly what you wanted, with the accessories you wanted, and then they chipped the paint on it on a brand new bike and ruined the tap. So now you gotta wait, you don't get your backrest, and you gotta wait for the new trunk to come in, and they have to order this whole piece. Well, that stinks for them too.
It's this whole assembly.
Yeah.
The fenders are built.
Wow. Are you happy with the bike?
Very happy now.
It's just a lot of work.
Yeah.
All right, well, enjoy it. I love it. It's beautiful. And I'm glad to see you on the road with the wind in your hair again. So I'm not gonna say who it is, but imagine if it was just an easy transaction and you were treated with respect and just, it was supposed to be smooth, it should have been smooth. I'm not gonna say the dealer's name, but what's their slogan? It's like the biggest dealer in New Hampshire, isn't it?
I think it is one of the larger dealers.
Yeah.
But I've been going there since 1978.
You've been going to that dealership since
That one
1978?
dealership,
Yeah.
through 4 different owners.
Wow.
And probably 5 different locations.
Wow. Yeah, and it's the one near the airport, right? In New Hampshire? Is that the one?
Oh.
All right, there we go. Just make it easy, guys. I want you to know as a consumer what you're up against. And this is the stuff. Like, if he didn't put up a fight, he would be in a bike that's a year older and now a year used. You'd have a broken tap. You'd be paying 12%, and they're trying to get it all over on you.
Yeah.
And it's not just you. It's all consumers, all buyers. It's the game that dealers run. It's how they make all their money. And it's the reason people hate dealerships. Imagine if there was just transparency and easy. It was easy and smooth and clean and you felt appreciated. How different this industry would be. And that's the reason I'm making this video, is so you as a consumer know what to look out for. Don't put up with these things. We shouldn't encourage this behavior. You don't just go with it. Put up a stink, defend yourself, get what you want for what you want, because the power is yours. Don't buy it. You don't have to buy it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Walk out the door, leave. They're trained to put pressure on you. They're trained to have 3 people team up on you. They're trained to make you feel uncomfortable and not be able to leave until you sign that paperwork. But if you're not getting what you want, don't buy it. You don't have to buy it. That car or vehicle or motorcycle is not yours until you drive it over that line, and then it's yours. Until then, all the power is in your hands. And then the message to the dealers, just knock it off. I know people love money. I know we're all greedy. We all want to maximize our profits, but you're taking advantage of people at that expense. When the sale comes first, the truth comes second. I always say that. It's just, that isn't how the world should be. Shame on you, Harley near the airport in New Hampshire, and just do better. Pup, congrats on your bike. I'm really happy to see you on it. And to everyone else out there, thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Beware. I'll see y'all later. Adios. Oh, I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you later. I have to admit, this bike is pretty cool though. It's a lot of fun.